Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an exciting head-to-head battle between two different machines. A powerful Windows gaming laptop and a brand new MacBook Air with M3 chip. We're going to be testing some of the most popular Pixinsight functions and plugins on both of the machines. Pixinsight Startup, image stacking, background extraction, color calibration, two paid and most used Pixinsight plugins, BlurXTerminator and NoiseXTerminator, and a free and widespread Pixinsight plugin to remove stars from your Astro image, StarNet 2. And what better image to use as a reference than the beautiful Cocoon Nebula and the Messier 106 galaxy region. So why using a Mac instead of a Windows gaming laptop in the first place? And what's the background of the whole project here? I just purchased a new MacBook Air with Apple's Silicon M3 chip. And I was just curious to find out which system is the fastest for image processing in Pixisnight and if the Mac with the M3 is faster than my gaming laptop. The MacBook Air has some amazing features like an excellent MacBook Air Liquid Retina display, excellent to see beautiful colors, which is great for image processing. The MacBook Air is transportable, so less weight than my gaming laptop, which is also great for travel. The M3 is much quieter than this jet engine here. And it has a long-lasting battery, which is also great. I started this test series completely unbiased. So I'm using my Windows machine as well as MacBooks since several years. And I'm really happy with them. Now, as you probably know, most astrophotography software is designed with Windows in mind. But you're also able to run Windows programs using a software which is called Parallels on the Mac. But with Apple's M3 chip making waves, can the MacBook Air with Apple's Silicon M3 chip compete? We're about to find out. We'll be comparing speed, performance and results to see which system handles these intense tasks better. Will the M3 chip live up to the hype, or will the gaming laptop take the crown? I always use default settings, and sometimes when the tests are too long to show here in full length, I will just fast forward in time. I will not comment on individual results, but will do a complete summary at the end. So stick until the end of the video. Let's dive into the benchmarks and see which machine comes out on top in this Pixinsight showdown. Let the test begin! Pixinsight Startup. Image stacking. For the stacking test I used data from the Cocoon Nebula imaging over 11 hours. In the past I also did a YouTube video about imaging and the gear I used. Check it out, it's amazing. That was actually an unexpected result with about 40 minutes longer processing time for the M3 Mac. Wow! Background extraction. This is how you will find the automatic background extraction in Pixinsight. And the settings I used for the tests. color calibration. Before you do the actual color calibration, in this case a spectrophotometric color calibration, you will do image analysis or plate solving first. This is how you do this. And then you will open the spectrophotometric color calibration in Pixinsight. BlurXTerminator. If you don't know what BlurXTerminator is, it's a plugin. It's not free, and it will remove, as the name suggests, blur. It will tighten or reduce the star size, and it will, most of the cases will make your image sharper or your object details sharper. There was actually also a surprising result with the Mac being almost 5 times faster than the Windows machine. This is actually amazing results for the Mac. It was super fast, but then I also found out that there's a possibility to implement some libraries to have a GPU acceleration. So using your graphics card to really make the process much faster. The extra GPU acceleration is actually only possible in Windows, because in the Mac version it's already implemented. So I thought, let's have a fair comparison and let's give it a try. So I did. Now I want to show you shortly how to install the GPU acceleration on your Windows machine. Just open Pixinsight, go to Resources, then go to Updates and Manage Repositories. Then add this link here. You will also find it in the video description. Press OK again and restart Pixinsight. After restart, you will get a notification about a new update. Just click it, press apply. This will most probably take some time. And press OK, and that's it. Now restart Pixinsight again. Press OK. And that's it. After that, I started a new run with the GPU acceleration on the Windows machine. And the Mac one was the same as before. BlurXTerminator GPU accelerated. Let's compare the results, and as you can see, it's really the same result on both machines. For the following NoiseXTerminator speed tests, I also kept the same GPU acceleration libraries for the Windows computer, of course. NoiseXTerminator GPU accelerated. If you don't know what NoiseXTerminator is, it will, as the name suggests, strongly reduce your noise in your image, but will at the same time keep all the structure and the details and so on. You have to pay for this plugin. NoiseXTerminator GPU accelerated. Let's compare the results, and again it's really the same result on both machines. StarNet 2. StarNet 2 is an amazing and free Pixinsight plugin to separate your stars from your main Astro target. This is especially great and really helpful during image processing. I also did several videos in the past how to install StarNet 2 in Pixinsight. Check it out. For the upcoming StarNet 2 speed test, you can decide whether you want to apply it on a stretched or non-stretched image. If you don't know how to stretch your image in Pixinsight, I will now shortly show you how to do this in an unbiased way using the screen transfer function. How to stretch an image using the screen transfer function in Pixinsight. Just open the screen transfer function. Reset the stretch preview and apply the nuke symbol here to have a preview of a stretched image. Then open the histogram transformation tool here in Pixinsight. And just drag and drop this triangle on top of this line here and just apply this to your image. Now you will have a double stretched image, so reset the image preview and you will see the stretched image. Now where to find StarNet 2 in Pixinsight? Just go to Process, All Processes and click StarNet 2. And here, as I said before, you have the possibility to use linear data, so non-stretched image, or a stretched image. If you are using linear data, so a non-stretched image, StarNet 2 will use the screen transfer function or STF parameters to stretch the image and then de-stretch it back. Usually I stretch my image first and then I will apply StarNet 2 to remove stars. StarNet 2. And again, it's really the same result on both machines. Compare the results, and as you can see, it's really the same result on both machines. If you want to know how to recombine the object and the stars and want to know all about the plugins, please watch my Pixinsight image processing tutorials, link in the video description or click here. Alright, now that we've completed all the tests using Pixinsight's tool and plugins, let's break down the final results. For startup, image stacking, automatic background extraction, spectrophotometric color calibration and StarNet 2, both stretched and not stretched, the Windows gaming laptop came out on top, thanks to its raw processing power and active cooling system. But when it comes to BlurXTerminator and NoiseXTerminator, especially with M3 internal GPU acceleration, the MacBook Air M3 pulled ahead, showing the incredible efficiency of the M3 chip. Although the Windows PC was generally slower in the BlurXTerminator tests, we clearly see the degree of performance improvement caused by installation of BlurXTerminator's GPU acceleration libraries, starting with over 4 minutes in the BlurXTerminator test and ending at 46 seconds with GPU acceleration. That's amazing. I highly recommend to install those libraries if you're also using BlurXTerminator or NoiseXTerminator. Interestingly, in the short image solver test, both machines performed evenly, neither gaining a significant advantage. One important factor to consider is that the MacBook Air M3 has no active cooling, unlike the Windows gaming laptop, which uses a fan to maintain performance under heavy workloads. This fanless design can impact M3's performance during more intense computations like image stacking and background extraction, for example. Here you can see a thermal image of the fanless MacBook Air design, and you also can see high temperatures here. So in summary, if you're after raw performance for a heavy and intense task, the Windows gaming laptop takes a win compared to an Apple MacBook Air, in this case with M3 chip. But if you're working with plugins like BlurXTerminator or NoiseXTerminator, the MacBook Air M3's efficiency, especially with its GPU acceleration, makes it a serious contender. If you own a MacBook Pro, this would most probably look differently, since the Pro has a fan inside, not to reduce the performance due to increased heat. Here you can see a comparison between the fanless design of the MacBook Air and the design of the MacBook Pro with fans. Before we wrap up, I want to give a huge thanks to my amazing Patreon supporters. Your contribution makes it possible for me to create content like this, and I truly appreciate it. If you want to support me on Patreon, please use this link. You will also find it in the video description. Thank you. As a token of appreciation, all my Patreon supporters can request the stacked raw version of the Cocoon Nebula and/or the M106 region I used for the tests in this video. Just send me a message with the file format you prefer and the link to your cloud storage of choice, and I'll share the data with you free of charge. Spoiler, since you like my Pixinsight tutorials, I will also do another one showing how to process those raw images. So stay tuned. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content on astrophotography, tech and image processing and so on. And let me know in the comments which system you prefer and which one you are using for your workflow. I would also especially be interested to hear if you are working with Parallels for Mac and how it performs. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Clear skies.